catch! My boots got sand aplenty.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf I am.
Head out, Fiend!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Hi-ho, hi-ho!
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
No God!
Hey?
Feel any burning? See a local healer or wise woman.
Off to the front yet again.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Commissar will hear.
I'll relieve you of that pouch.
Brach! Scheiß! In! Zwei!
We're the best regiment in the whole ploughing north.
Off to the front yet again.
All right, that's no problem.
Quiet, or the Commissar will hear.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Go on, Encader!
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
Discipline, that is what you folk lack.
In Angren, all decomposes, be it dead or very much alive. Rot blights trees, seeping sores torment beasts, and the whole swamp emits the acrid, stifling stench of decay. So when, in the swamp's distant corner, the Lyrians caught whiffs of smoke and roasted meat, they stopped dead in their tracks. The scouts followed their noses to a clearing framed by a palisade. Through the gaps in the posts, they spotted a small fort.
Any banners upon it? Whose do you see?
Asked the Queen.
There aren't none, your grace. Not one golden sun, not one silver lily.
Meve gave the gate a few solid knocks with her shield. Moments later, a dozen armed men appeared atop the rampart. The one who led them wore a beard.
Who are you? Why are you here?
I'm Meve, Queen of Lyria and Rivia. At war with Nilfgaard, I ventured into these swamps.
Is there a war on? Hey, that's news. Certainly, but little concern to me. The name's Gimpy Gerwin, and I rule these lands.
Is that so? As conferred upon you by whom?
By me! Angren's a good bit larger than folk think. And no dukes or emperor's fingers stand to reach its every corner. Thus I just up and took this particular nook. Made it mine. So let's parley, Meve. One ruler to another. At the risk of being blunt, I don't care who wins this war. But I want to be in good standing with whoever does. So, I offer you a fire at which to warm your limbs. Also, a place at my table and beds for you to rest. On condition, you pledge to me one very small thing. To respect the sacred laws of hospitality.
So be it. I do solemnly swear before the gods and my ancestors that we shall honor all the laws of hospitality.
Then you're most welcome inside.
The fort was simple, built of logs, covered with thatch. Oh, but inside, it was warm, dry. Hot, steaming dishes were piled upon platters, the tables beneath them bent from their weight. Smiles appeared on her soldiers' drained faces, and Meve's spirits were lifted at last. Gerwin proved a cordial host, and eagerly shared both food and tales. He'd led a mercenary band, and they'd stumbled into Angren, discovered a land unclaimed by any feudal lord. He'd erected the fort, then united the surrounding villages under his very own rule.
The folk here are savage. Defiant,
he said, sipping wine.
I keep them on a tight lead for their own good. Elsewise they'd slit your throat first chance they got.
Late that night, Meve went to see if her mare had been dressed. In the stable, she happened on a farmhand. Recognizing the Queen, the man fell to his knees and averted his eyes. Meve noticed a strange object dangling from a rope around his neck. A human hand half rotted to the bone.
What? What is that?
My wife's hand, your grace,
stammered the peasant.
Lord Gerwin caught her sneaking some grub. Scraps, really. Took her and told me to wear it, so I'd remember what happens when...
Meve left the stable without uttering another word. She went straight to the servants' barracks. In the pale glow of her torch, she looked over the peasants. All terrified, all with fresh, bleeding wounds. The Queen felt rage rise inside her. The Queen blew her horn. Lyrian soldiers filled the yard. They hastily donned their armor, strapped on their swords. Unsure of Meave's intentions, Gerwin's men likewise stood at the ready, weapons in hand.
Gerwin!
Roared Meave.
Get out here at once!
The stout mercenary stood at his window, glaring from beneath his furrowed brow.
I don't know what you think you're doing,
He called.
but I'd kindly remind you of your oath and the laws.
I've seen your laws. You're strict and they're cruel. So your rule will end now. Attack!
I didn't think a queen would so easily break her word.
Cursed traitors.
Can't take it anymore.
To arms! You mad? Don't shake that! Try them!
You did the right thing. We should never turn a blind eye to others' suffering.
Awaiting your orders.
Oh, be ashamed to let this beauty go to waste.
Ha!
Sod it. Sod it all.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
To arms!
Don't like this.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Cursed traitors.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
We're the best regiment in the whole ploughing north!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
This could hurt.
Hey?
Remove this pile of manure from my sight.
Lame as he was, Gerwin had been a mercenary. He fought hard, he fought well, yet still proved no match for Meave. She knocked his axe from his hand, he fell to his knees, then she cleaved his head clear off. It rolled like a gourd and came to rest at the peasant's feet.
You've your freedom back,
Growled Meave as she wiped her sword.
yet do not take it for granted. Nilfgaard is in Angren. The Blackclads will come here too. As long as the golden sun flies over the marsh, you must hide in the woods.
Meave's force left the fort before dawn. She rode at the fore, lips pursed, jaw clenched. A stain on her honor. She'd broken her word. Apart from all else, it stung on the inside.
We're free. It is the truth. The gods bless ye, your majesty. That Gerwin bloke were a monster, milady. A monster. Worse nor a pack of ghouls. Pack? No, worse nor a swarm. 1 month he kept me in darkness, and I only busted a tankard. I'll not stay here. 'Tis an evil place. Rather go with ye, even if I'm to fight Blacklads along the way.
Entering the swamp's easy. Trouble's getting out. Entering the swamp's easy. Trouble's getting out.
In the distance, Meave spotted a spindle-like shape, which soon proved an enormous, dark obelisk. It stood in the middle of a wetland clearing. Dozens of iron rings dangled from its shaft, clinking and rattling in gusts of wind. Cows, donkeys, and dogs were gathered round the stone, all tied to the rings by ropes. Their hides showed many shallow cuts, seeping blood, festering, drawing mosquitoes in swarms. A number of the animals struggled against their cords, while others, near dead, lay still in the wet, tall grass. Across the clearing, folk emerged from the woods, a handful of peasants with a mule in tow. The beast resisted, stomped and planted its hooves, perhaps sensing its gruesome fate. The Queen decided to question the peasants, and soon learned the animals were their sacrifice to the swamp gods.
They're all about, dearie. Very close. Oh, very, very close.
The toothless old woman whispered.
They hide neath murky waters. Can't feed when they hear the drip drip of blood. The gods look kindly on those what make an offering.
I know nothing of your gods,
began the Queen, her nose crinkled in disgust.
but any that demand such grisly tribute are not at all worthy of reverence. What you do to these creatures is savagery. Savagery I can't allow.
Run us off, you can.
Replied the old shrew.
For soon as you're gone, we'll come back. As ever, we'll come back.
This I know. So I must take care to leave you naught to come back to.
Over the peasants' howls and pleas, Meave ordered the obelisk brought down. Her soldiers gripped the ropes that hung from it and toppled the shaft. As it hit the ground, it shattered into many smaller pieces.
You say you know naught of our gods?
The old woman's eyes narrowed, her voice grew darker still.
Well, don't you worry your head, sweetie. You'll meet him soon enough. They'll tangle you apart. Sow a pox among you, drive it to madness, every last one! I curse you, all of you, in Gerdacor's name!
Undisturbed by the Harridan's screamed threats, Meave rode on. But her men whispered long of the curse. It weighed on their minds, poisoned their hearts. Each misstep, misfortune, they saw as punishment for their sacrilege.
Your Majesty? Are you well?
Yes. Yes, but the stench.
Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs.
Meve stood waiting while her scouts cut through the tangled branches and roots that had overgrown the trail through the swamp. Suddenly, a soldier doubled over and began to retch blood. The same symptoms soon afflicted others in her ranks.
A potent poison,
was the medic's verdict. It seemed all those who'd fallen ill had shared a tent. One night, they'd chattered about an obelisk they'd destroyed and the group of incensed peasants who'd cursed them for it. Fearing for their lives, the footman had gone to a local herbalist. She'd brewed them a potion to ward off black magic. Alas, the concoction had proved poisonous, while the herbalist had vanished without a trace. Happily, Isbel concocted an antidote in time to deliver the soldiers from a certain and agonizing death. the mage explained their misfortune had not issued from a dark, corrupt force, but from simple human wickedness. Her calming voice and gentle smile lifted the soldiers' spirits. Trusting in her care, they soon wholly forgot the so-called curse.